Hello, and welcome back to Bizarre Bureau, where we peel back the layers of history to uncover the truths hidden in our oldest myths. Have you ever wondered if the stories we tell are more than just fiction? For over 2,000 years, one story has captivated humanity more than any other: the tale of a magnificent city, a utopian civilization of godlike beings, swallowed by the sea in a single catastrophic day. Of course, I'm talking about Atlantis. But what if I told you that Atlantis wasn't just a myth? What if the clues to its existence have been hiding in plain sight all along? Today, we read diving deep into the ocean's mysteries to separate fact from fiction and explore the tantalizing possibility that the lost city of Atlantis was real. Our journey begins not with treasure maps or ancient ruins, but with a single man, the Greek philosopher Plato. Around 360 BC, he wrote two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, which gave the world its first and only detailed account of Atlantis. According to Plato, this story wasn't his invention. He claimed it was an ancient tale passed down through his family, originating from the wise Athenian statesman Solon, who heard it from Egyptian priests. These priests, guardians of millennia of history, spoke of an island continent, larger than Libya and Asia combined, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we know today as the Strait of Gibraltar. Plato's description of Atlantis is nothing short of breathtaking. He painted a picture of a city built in perfect concentric circles of land and water, connected by massive canals large enough for ships to sail through. At its heart lay a magnificent temple dedicated to Poseidon, the god of the sea, adorned with gold, silver, and a mysterious metal called orichalcum, which was said to gleam with the red light of fire. The Atlanteans themselves were described as a noble and powerful race, masters of engineering and philosophy. Their empire was vast, their armies mighty, and their wealth immeasurable. For generations, they lived in harmony and virtue. But as the story goes, their human nature eventually gave way to greed and corruption. Angered by their hubris, the gods, led by Zeus, unleashed a terrible cataclysm. In one violent day and night of excessive earthquakes and floods, the entire island of Atlantis sank beneath the waves, vanishing forever. It's a dramatic tale, but for centuries, most scholars dismissed it as a simple allegory, a cautionary tale Plato created to illustrate his political theories about the ideal state versus a corrupt one. And for good reason. There's no other mention of Atlantis in any other ancient text. No other Greek writer, historian, or poet from that time ever mentioned this colossal, world-dominating empire. It's as if the biggest event in prehistoric history was only recorded by one man, generations after it supposedly happened. This glaring omission has always been the biggest argument against its existence. If Atlantis was real, surely someone else would have written about it, right? But what if they did? Just not by the name Atlantis. This is where the story gets really interesting. In the late 19th century, a former U.S. congressman named Ignatius Donnelly published a book called Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. Donnelly argued that Plato's story was not an allegory, but a literal historical account. He proposed that Atlantis was the origin of all major ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Mayans. He pointed to similarities in myths, languages, and architecture across different cultures separated by vast oceans. How could ancient peoples on opposite sides of the world both build pyramids? How could they share flood myths, like the story of Noah's Ark or the Epic of Gilgamesh? Donnelly's answer was a common ancestor, the survivors of Atlantis, who spread across the globe after their homeland sank. Carrying their knowledge with them, Donnelly's book sparked a global obsession. Suddenly, Atlantis wasn't just a philosophical tale. It was a potential historical reality, the ultimate unsolved mystery. Explorers, mystics, and amateur archaeologists began a frantic search. The question was no longer if Atlantis existed, but where, and theories have been as wild and varied as the legend itself. One of the most popular candidates for the location of Atlantis is the Greek island of Santorini, formerly known as Thera. Around 1600 BC, a volcanic eruption of unimaginable force blew the island apart. It was one of the largest volcanic events in human history, triggering colossal tsunamis that devastated the Minoan civilization on the nearby island of Crete. The Minoans were a highly advanced Bronze Age culture, with grand palaces, vibrant art, and a powerful navy, much like Plato's description of the Atlanteans. The eruption buried the Minoan settlement of Akrotiri on Santorini under a thick layer of ash, preserving it like a time capsule. When excavated, Akrotiri revealed a sophisticated city with multi-story buildings, advanced plumbing, and stunning frescoes, a lost world frozen in time. The parallels are striking, a powerful island civilization destroyed by a natural disaster. Could Plato's story be a distorted memory of the Minoan collapse, passed down through generations until it reached him? But while the Santorini theory is compelling, it doesn't quite fit all the details. Plato specifically stated that Atlantis was beyond the Pillars of Hercules in the Atlantic Ocean, and that it sank around 9,600 BC, thousands of years before the Thera eruption. This has led other researchers to look elsewhere. Some point to the Bahamas, where strange underwater rock formations, known as the Bimini Road, have been touted as remnants of Atlantean walls. Others suggest locations as far-flung as Antarctica, Spain, or even Ireland. Each theory presents its own set of intriguing clues and frustrating inconsistencies. For example, geological evidence. The idea of a large continent sinking into the Atlantic Ocean in a single day goes against everything we know about plate tectonics. Continents don't just sink. They drift, collide, and break apart over millions of years. However, new discoveries on the ocean floor challenge our old assumptions. We now know about the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a massive underwater mountain range. What if part of this ridge was once above sea level? In the Azores, a group of volcanic islands right on the ridge, dredges have pulled up freshwater plant fossils from the ocean floor, suggesting the land was once much higher. Could this be the sunken mountaintops of a lost continent? Then there's the mystery of the Piri Reis map. This is a genuine 16th century map drawn by an Ottoman admiral. What makes it so baffling is that it appears to show the coast of Antarctica, but without its ice cap. The ice sheet covering Antarctica is millions of years old. How could a 16th century mapmaker possibly know what the landmass underneath looked like? Proponents of the Atlantis theory suggest the map was based on much older source maps, perhaps created by an ancient seafaring civilization with advanced knowledge of global geography, a civilization like Atlantis, before the last ice age shifted the Earth's crust and buried their Antarctic outposts under miles of ice. So, where does that leave us? Is Atlantis a real physical place waiting to be discovered? Or is it a powerful myth, a vessel for our collective hopes and fears? Perhaps the answer is both. Perhaps Atlantis isn't a single location on a map, but an idea. The idea of a lost golden age, a paradise lost to human failing, resonates deeply within us. It's a story that's been told and retold in countless forms, from the Garden of Eden to the utopian dreams of science fiction. It represents a longing for a better, wiser world, and serves as a powerful warning about the dangers of arrogance and the destructive power of nature. The search for Atlantis continues to this day, with new technologies like satellite imagery and deep-sea sonar offering tantalizing possibilities. Every strange anomaly on the ocean floor, every unexplained ancient artifact, fuels the hope that one day we might find definitive proof. But even if we never find the sunken city of Plato's dialogues, the quest itself is invaluable. It pushes the boundaries of exploration, challenges our understanding of history, and reminds us that there are still great mysteries hidden in the depths of our world and in the echoes of our oldest stories. The legend of Atlantis is a mirror, reflecting our own civilization back at us and asking the ultimate question: will we learn from the past, or are we destined to repeat its mistakes? What do you think? Was Atlantis a real place, a garbled memory of a different catastrophe, or simply one of history's greatest stories? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive at the Bizarre Bureau. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next investigation. Until next time, Keep questioning everything.